Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Thursday afternoon, just before Friday, Monday morning podcast. And I'm just checking in on you. Just seeing how your week's going. You know, a lot of people, when they podcast for 1 week, they don't fucking think about their listeners for the rest of the week. But you know what? Not this guy. I think about you. I think about you. What was that? That was fucking Guns N' Roses. Right? All that fucking falsetto singing back then. Only you. Everyone would go nuts and they would have their fucking lighters up in the air. Already, right out of the gate, you can say, gee, Bill, you have a lot more energy than you've had lately. What's going on with you? Well, I'll tell you what's going on. Today's the last day. We're wrapping on the movie Front Runner, starring Hugh Jackman, directed by Jason Reitman. This is the last day. I'm very excited because I think it's going to be a great movie, and I also get to go home and see my family. Is that my daughter over there? Very cool. I got a quick little run in New York, and then I'm done. I'm just done for the rest of the year, other than the times I go to New Mexico and Arizona. Okay? I mean, I still am a traveling comedian. I still am a plate spinner, but I'm pretty much home till like the end of January, which is awesome. So I will be spending that time with my family and going in, punching up and editing some of the first cuts of Season 3 of F is for Family. That's what I'm doing, you know? Getting into the Thanksgiving spirit. Thanksgiving, often overlooked. You know, the second Halloween comes along, everybody goes, oh shit, it's the fucking Christmas season. But people forget that there's a holiday, you know? The holiday. You don't have to have any gifts. All you got to do is show up. You show up the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, you go down to the local bar, and a lot of the chicks that you were too afraid to talk to are going to be down there. A lot of the chicks that were afraid to be talked to are going to be down there. Everybody's looking for some sentimental sex, right? Or some what-if encounters. Sorry, I don't mean to go all Harvey Weinstein here. All of that was consensual. All right? Jesus Christ, there's just one accusation after another. Finally, all these famous people are starting to go like, yeah, I have no idea who that is. Or, yeah, I don't know. I don't remember that. You know, which I was surprised right out of the gate they didn't do. I'm not condoning their behavior. I'm just saying legal advice. Years later, after the jizz has disappeared off of you throughout the plant that you fucking came on, you'd think that these people would go into denial. Like that fucking Supreme Court judge going, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do that. I just went back to my study and I was reading on how to become a better person. They're slowly starting to do that. But anyways, why, Bill? Why on such a glorious holiday month would you bring up such a scandal? There should be like, you know what? You should start doing like you know, you have like a dead pool. You should do like a pool now where you just fucking, you try to bet on who's the next person. I can't even say anything because it's not funny to fucking accuse somebody of that shit. Trying to think of anybody who I would, I ain't gonna fucking do that. Let's go with something positive. I went to the best music store I've been to, and since I don't know when, with the best commercial on YouTube, which I am going to post off of the Monday Morning Podcast Twitter account. Portman's Music Store in Savannah, Georgia is hands down the best music store I've been to. What do you want? You want a French horn? They got it. You want a bassoon? They got it. You want a didgeridoo? They got it. Are you an old man and you got to read some charts and your fucking eyes are gone? They actually sell readers up at the counter. Little, you know, those glasses when you don't want to just waste your money getting a prescription. You just go out and you get the readers. You just try some on. All right, these look good. These look all right. They sold those. I went over there just to get some drumsticks. And next thing you know, I'm actually thinking of buying a trumpet. I always loved the trumpet. I always loved the power of that fucking instrument, you know. And I actually looked at one for the first time. I had this guy explain to me the whole way that it worked. And I was thinking about it. And then fortunately, I called my wife, and she goes, "You're not buying a fucking trumpet." Why do wives always do that? They always, I'm not saying that she was wrong, but they always, you're not doing that. You're not buying a boat. You're not putting a speed bag up on the side of the house. What? It doesn't rain that much. There's a tree over it. Honey, we're not doing that. Right? They always do that to us, but when can we always ever sit there looking and be like, what? Honey, you're not buying another pair of shoes. You're not buying any more throw pillows. You already can't sit on the fucking couch. There's too many. I'm not yelling. Now I am, yes, but I wasn't. Oh, you know what? Fuck you. Yeah, fuck you. Fine, I don't give a fuck. I never didn't want to go there anyways. Why do you have to ruin the weekend? All right, that's the way it goes. Why can't we do that? Well, we got to figure out what they do. Obviously, we can't start crying, and they'll fucking send us to some goddamn home. I'm going to do that next time. I'm buying a trumpet. You're not buying a trumpet. Don't be mean to me. She was right. In another life. Come on, man. The trumpet with the plunger on the end, getting that Jimi Hendrix wah-wah sound. Maybe that's probably where he got it from, right? He probably wanted to have that sound in the guitar because he was probably listening to somebody playing a fucking horn. I don't know what. But I always loved the trumpet and the trombone and the sax. Saxophone's kind of hacky to like. That's like liking guitar. Everybody likes fucking guitar. Everybody likes, when it comes to horns, everybody likes the saxophone, right? The fucking trombone's the shit. Right? The trumpet. You ever listen to a big band? And those 4 trumpet players show up, they fucking, they stand up and they start playing their little section. They almost knock you out of your seat. I don't know, man. They were fucking cool, and they were expensive as shit. Like the cheapest one was like that they had there was like $600, $700, $800. No wonder parents are always fucking freaking out when their kid stops playing the trumpet. It's like, dude, I could have bought a new riding mower. Do you know what stopped me from playing the trumpet, other than just poor, musical gifts? Was I didn't want to get that fucked up lip. And then the guy behind the counter told me, he said, "Oh, that's just poor technique. That's just from pressing probably your embouchure or whatever the fuck they call it is wrong. So to make up for it, you got to press it against your lips, and then you get like that you look like somebody beat you with a trumpet rather than you play one, right?" And he's like, "No, you just want to be relaxed. You want to be relaxed. And everything is that in life. You know what I mean? You want to be relaxed. You want to hit a home run? Don't try and kill it. Just swing through the fucking zone. Let the bat meet the ball. There it goes, right? In a Little League field. For me, professional guys, they could hit it out of Fenway Park, right? Stop trying to kill it. Golf, you want to drive it a bunch of yards there, right? You want to show off. You're on the first tee. Have you all the fucking white dudes standing behind you? One woman and somebody of color, so nobody can say your fucking membership is racist, right? You fly them in. Everybody's standing there watching you. You're waiting to tee off, right? You're feeling the sweat going down the back of your ball bag. And what do? You grip it a little tighter. You fucking go back like John Daly. You swing outside your zone. And you fucking go through. Your little hat with the pom-pom falls off. You fall on your ass. Your white slacks get a grass stain on them. And where does the ball go? Huh? Fucking ricochets off the lady's teeth. And everybody snickers. Everybody snickers. Then you're in a bad mood. You have a bad round. And then you fucking come home. You throw your clubs down, right? And then your wife comes out and wants you to emote. And next thing you know, you got your hands around her throat, right? Her eyes are rolling back. She's making dents on the... what? You know how it ends, right? You know how it ends. It ends with a trip to Home Depot. You're buying a pickaxe and some sort of lime. And all you had to do was just relax. Go up there, smile and wave at all your so-called friends that you know are rooting against you. Stay within yourself. Be nice and relaxed. Don't give a shit. Let the face meet the fucking ball. There it goes, right down the goddamn fairway. But no, you tried to kill it. And when it ended up happening, an innocent woman died, right? And how are you going to get caught? Huh? Because of the back of her head, the imprint's going to be on the hood of the car. They come over there to dust it, right? And then they'll be able to tell it's the perfect shape of her skull with the little ponytail. And then you just sit there. That's when you break down on the fucking stand, like on one of those classic Ironside. All right, it was me. Remember those old stupid court dramas, the early days of movies and television shit? All you had to do was just ask the defendant, a bunch of quick questions. They'd just be like, you went golfing that day, didn't you? Yeah, what about it? Everyone was watching, weren't they? They were watching you, and you squeezed the glove chloride. No, I didn't. And then you went home, and then you killed you. All right, I did it. She never believed in my golf game, see? Right? They always did that, and then they always shook women and slapped them. And that was the backbone of Hollywood. And for some fucking reason, 67 years later, everybody's surprised that people are running around, grabbing people by their privates, and finishing on a plant. Anyways, I guess, was it the midterm elections? I don't know what happened. All I know is I was down on the set, and somebody said, hey, it's a good day for Democrats. And I was just like, what do you mean? He goes, yesterday, man. He said the Democrats fucking killed it yesterday. And my first thought was, well, did they elect good Democrats? You know what I mean? I don't like how people look at politics the way they look at their sports team. You know what I mean? Where, like, if it's a bad call, as long as it goes in the favor of your team, you're like, that was fine. Like Hillary supporters doing that stupid thank you, Hillary, which was probably started by her people. I don't understand what people on the left are doing, still trying to push her over the top. At some point, you just got to admit you wasted a draft pick, and you got to move on to somebody else. I've never seen somebody just keep coming back like fucking Freddy Krueger, since probably Richard Nixon. That has to be her spirit animal. My fucking... Why did I just say favorite? That's the thing I hate the most when people say, so-and-so is my spirit animal. What are you, fucking 11? You got a pen pal too? Yeah, like if I was her, I would look at Richard Nixon and be like, okay, this guy lost, won on the radio, lost on TV. He was sitting there, sitting there like how you normally sit. Right, he's got sweat on his upper lip. JFK comes in all tanned up. He's got his legs crossed like he's doing panel on the fucking Tonight Show. All the women are watching going, oh, if I had to suck a political dick, that would be the dick, right? So everybody fucking votes, thinks that he won on TV. Nixon loses the election, and then he lost the governor's race in California and literally was out of politics. And not 8 years later, old tricky dick came back and won the fucking White House. I think that's what Hillary's trying to do. But just watching everybody on the left just ignoring, completely turning a fucking blind eye to the fact that Bernie Sanders got more votes. And they admitted it in court. The Democratic National Party colluded with her campaign to make her the fucking representative. I mean, give me a fucking break. She's fucking sitting there bitching about the Electoral College. I don't get it. I get if you're a woman and you want a woman to be president, but, can you pick a good one? Can we start with that? I mean, how much more corrupt I don't know. I just don't get it. People's and being enamored with either the Bushes or the Clintons. I've had enough with them. I want a new last name lying to me. Is that asking too much? But so anyway, so I checked out some of those elections, and I'm way in over my head here, but I just saw these weird headlines like, congratulations, such and such state, you elected the first transgendered person. Way to go, Vermont, or way to go, New Jersey. You elected the first Muslim, whatever, that's a Sikh guy or whatever. I don't know how to say it or whatever. There was nothing in there that you elected somebody who was qualified, that's going to do a great fucking job, who happens to be Polynesian or whatever. I don't understand. It read the exact same. Well, that's like how white supremacists vote. You know, they vote strictly by, race or whatever. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, can we just vote for people who are good, who actually have demonstrated that they cannot be swayed by money, and they're actually going to do what's going to be good for the environment, that's going to be good for poor people, middle-class people, that's going to be good for this country. Don't just fucking vote for somebody because of their genitalia or I mean, I don't get it. This whole fucking idea that sociopaths, selfish people, liars are only white male heterosexuals, and that only they are susceptible to being weak when they get positions of power is not a good road to go down, is the only thing I'm going to say. I don't know how you figure out what the fuck somebody's going to do. But like, to just be excited that somebody got in there because of their sex or their race is a very short-sighted way to look at it. You got to look at what the fuck they did, is all I'm saying. And I did not see that in the headline. I just thought, oh, good, this person's in there. But I feel like that's how we try to fix shit. Like, oh my God, there was 8 years of Democrats. Fuck this. Let's vote all Republican. Oh, wait a minute, that doesn't work. Let's go all Democrat. That's what we just keep fucking doing. And now we're going to do that, I think, on what do you call it? Gender and a race thing is what they're going to do. And it's going to be fucking, I'm telling you, you're going to see the exact same scandals. I did not have sex with that woman. You wait. I want to see how this plays out. When they get in there, right? When the non-whiteys get in there and they got their own private fucking Subway, everybody's eating fucking lobster, and it's all just sitting there dangling. You want to be president? Hey, buddy, you want to be president, right? And they got to get in bed with all of these evil fucking corporations. And then when they get in there, they got to do what those corporations want, right? They got to do what the fuck they want. And then if they do, then you end up like Obama, like Bush, like Clinton, like all of these fucking people. After they're president, then you go on the fucking bribe money tour, going out, air quote, giving speeches, right? Why are you still giving speeches? You're not president anymore. You know what I mean? Is Dan Marino walking around with the football still throwing passes? He's retired. What the fuck are you? Oh, you're yeah. Obama right now is on tour. $69 million tour giving speeches. I'm not saying the guy doesn't give a good speech, but $69 million in 1 year? The fuck out of here. The fuck out of here. Who's he going to go talk to, huh? Who's he talking to? Joe Sixpack? I don't think so. I know that was a very bleak way of looking at it, but there's something positive in there. I think we need, as everybody represented, obviously, in government, but you got to make sure that you're not just voting, just to get a woman in there or something. You got to make sure they're good, and that is my problem with the Clintons. I just think that they're just fucking, they're like, I don't even know what they are. They're just soulless fucking people. There's got to be somebody better than her, all right? But, Democrats, if you want to hang your hat around somebody with Mike Dukakis' fucking charisma, who's as comfortable in her own skin as Al Gore, two fucking losers. They can't say two people who lost the election. Have you ever heard me talk politics this much in your life? Would you think someone who doesn't watch Fox News or CNN or MSNBC or anything else, who kind of just gets his news from overhearing one comment from somebody on a set while doing 8 lines in a movie? Anyways, let's get back into my wheelhouse, all right? Whatever, this is the podcast. I fucking talk about what I want. I talked about buying a trumpet, and now I'm talking about, it'd be funny if a woman gets into office, like what is she going to, like, how is she going to give into, She going to get, like, a bunch of fucking, like, J. Crew, like, boy toys running around the White House? Who knows? I don't know what they're going to do. She'd probably go like that Ferdinand Marcos chick there who had like fucking 50,000 fucking shoes. That's what it is. Guys are into like fucking, we're animals, right? Ladies are into stuff. Maybe that's what it is. They'll blow the entire defense budget on like brooches or some shit. All right, this is some of the dumbest shit I've ever said. I hope it makes you feel better about yourself. All right. Oh, last day of the shoot, 84 days sober. I did it. All right? I booked this thing. I was a fat booze bag. I stopped fucking drinking. I did it. So can you. And so I'm a little nervous here because now the shoot ends tonight. And so now what do I do? It's this weird thing where I don't want to end my streak. I think I can get at least 100 days. Then I'm going through Thanksgiving without drinking. But is that a bad thing? You know what I mean? Rather than, drinking and kind of forgetting half the meal and then waking up at 4 a.m. with the TV still on, sweating my ass off in some Thanksgiving sweater, being like, what the fuck? Where is everybody? Did I say goodnight? Next day you go downstairs, you talk to your wife, you're like, good morning? She just looks at you and keeps brushing her teeth. You're like, oh, fuck. Did you have fun yesterday? She stops brushing her teeth, slams her hand down on the counter, spits out, and then fucking turns the sink on, turns it off, and then turns to you and you're like, oh, fuck. What did I do? What did I say? I don't want to do that. I'll do that the day after. All right? When I watch all those rivalry games. Whoa, Nelly, Alabama Crimson Tide against the Auburn Tigers. I'm missing everything. I don't know what's going on in the world. I had a lot of people send me, tweets and texts and all that shit. Unfortunately, about the fatal crash of, sorry, I just clicked this fucking thing off, of Roy Halladay. And, yeah, that's fucking brutal. That's brutal. You see that guy in Boston sports radio just fucking went off on him? You know what's hilarious about that whole clip is he makes his point in the first, 8 seconds. He says what he feels about it and then continues to say it. I almost thought it was on a loop. He just kept going, oh, look at me, I got a plan. Yeah, I'm waving at the fucking window. He said that 9 times. I was kind of done with the guy when he called Halladay a jack wagon. Who says that? I understand you can't curse on the radio. I don't know. But the weird thing is that they're starting to blame the plane. And I don't think that's right. I mean, if it's pilot error both times, I don't think that what's scary is the other one, right? I never even thought about this. The first time that type of plane crashed, I guess the test pilot, he was flying into this canyon, flying low, and they're guessing that he thought he was in this different part of the canyon that was it opened up to a lake, but this one didn't. It started to get narrow, and then he went into basically a mountain cul-de-sac, and basically the angle that he would have had to fly out if he pulled back on the stick, he was going to fucking stall. So he had to try to bang a Yui, basically. I would think. Yeah, that's why I like a helicopter, because you just go and just stop. With those fucking things. You have to keep, they're like a shark. They got to keep moving forward, or then that's fucking it. But I got to tell you, man, that plane looks cool as hell. It really does. It really looks cool. And I don't know. But all of this shit where people speculate and all that, just shut the fuck up. All right, the FAA will investigate in like whatever, in a certain amount of time, 6 months, a year, whatever, they'll come out with their official report. All these fucking people who don't fly, listen to them talk about it was kind of, I don't know, it's kind of funny. Like they said, oh, this is the third time, blah, 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 you know? There's a lot of times if something's easy, people will do dumb shit with it. Like the helicopter that I want to buy, you know, it's basically like the Robinson, but they corrected all the safety issues on it. First of all, having a fully articulated main rotor system where you could actually push the stick forward and not enter into some sort of low G or mass bumping situation. So there was a guy that got it, and he was trying to demonstrate how you could fly like an asshole, which is what you should never do. And he slammed the stick forward, and he went into a nose-down attitude, but it's a carbureted engine. And the way the fuel is fed in, when he tipped it forward, he basically starved the carburetor of fuel and he stalled it. Demonstrating that he wouldn't get into one situation, he created another situation, and then he crashed it. So, you know, people who always, the very little that I know about aviation, whenever a new design comes out, you know, people are always like, well, let's let people fly in it and let them die, and then they can fix it and warn you about it, all of the stuff. But a lot of times it's just people, it's this weird thing where they make it safer and make it easier, and then someone will then do something, I don't know, will do something like that, just slam a stick forward or something. So I have no idea what that guy was doing, but it's brutal, man. So obviously condolences out to him and his wife and kids, man. It's fucking brutal. All right, with that sad friggin' story, that guy in Boston radio, though, it was also like, I feel like as much as he felt what he was saying, he was also trying to be edgy. You know, and it's one of these things, if anything that he was saying was actually true, it's like, dude, you don't need to say that. Why are you adding to the pain of his family if you really give a fuck about his wife and kids? All right? If somebody did something dumb, everybody knows that they did something dumb, and then they died, then just shut up about it. I mean, this really upsets me. It upsets you? You don't even know the fucking guy. It was such like a Kardashian. I just felt like for me, that was really upsetting. Anyways, MeUndies, everybody. MeUndies. Don't slam the fucking stick forward. MeUndies. If you're in a Capri, fucking whatever I want to buy. Why would I go into that? Why the fuck would I? What can I say? MeUndies. Swing the club nice. Single golf club relaxed. MeUndies. Yeah, I got nothing that rhymes with relax, because I'm thinking, fuck it. I'm sorry. You know what? I feel like Casey Kasem. I just went from a tragic fucking story to singing about underwear right now. You can't make that transition. MeUndies, everybody. MeUndies makes your butt. MeUndies, your butt will be proud to wear. And check this out. I'm not the only one who loves MeUndies. Listen to what longtime listener and MeUndies enthusiast George has to say. A note from George N., a Bill Burr listener and MeUndies fan. I decided to try out MeUndies PC because I love Bill Burr. There, I said it, okay? Is that what you want? All right, I did it. I tried on their soft velvety underwear. My dick liked it, okay? I smile every time he sings the song, although it's so easy to skip the ads in the podcast. I always listen to Bill Reed, blah, 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 blah. You guys know this. He loves these fucking things. They're nice and comfortable, and he loves MeUndies cradling the family jewels. To get 20% off the best and softest underwear and socks you will ever own, free shipping and 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/Burr. That's MeUndies.com/Burr. Well, that was too short. I should probably read what the guy said. All right? I always listen to Bill's Read, and I'm so glad MeUndies has stuck with them. It's been probably 2 years since I bought my first pair of MeUndies, and now I have a monthly subscription because they are that comfortable. Before MeUndies, I used to buy the 3-pack of underwear at retail stores until I realized that I wanted to treat my junk to something more comfortable, and that starts with a great pair of MeUndies cradling the family jewels. That is just so slick, the way that is read. It reeks of that it was rewritten by the advertisers. I'm sure there's a George N. out there, but I don't think he wrote it as eloquently as that. If he did, go to Madison Avenue, kid. You got a career. You got a future. All right, LegalZoom, everybody. As a business owner, you know how important it is to keep moving forward. But a lot of times, things come up that take your time and focus away from growing your business. So, when it comes to reviewing contracts, registering for trademarks, or staying current on fees and permits, LegalZoom.com can help simplify your life. And they help more than 2 million business owners easily and affordably navigate the legal system with confidence. The best part, you never have to worry about an attorney's billable hours piling up because LegalZoom is not a law firm. Instead, you get the advice you need to answer your business questions at fixed rates through LegalZoom's nationwide network of independent attorneys. So, take some pressure off yourself. Go to LegalZoom.com now to take care of your business before the year winds down. And for special savings, be sure to enter code BURR in the referral box at checkout. That's Burr, B-U-R-R, for special savings only at LegalZoom.com. All right, let's continue on here. I've been so friggin' busy traveling around, doing shows, and finishing up this acting gig that I have not watched 1 second of my beloved Boston Bruins and Boston Celtics. I haven't watched anything, and a friend of mine on F is for Family, a Cleveland Cavaliers fan, was raving about how well Kyrie Irving was doing with the Celtics. So I watched a little bit of highlights last night of the Celtics defeating the Lakers. I saw that Lonzo Ball, is that his name or is that his dad's name? I saw that he actually played well. And believe it or not, even as a Celtics fan, I'm happy for that dude because his fucking dad is like such a crazy person that it makes people hate this kid. The kid's never said shit. You can't pick your parents. And that the dude's dad did a lot of good things. He is playing in the NBA, but I don't know what he's doing. He's fucking wrestling. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what the fuck he's doing, but that's going to be one of those things at some point. That kid is going to have to make a very uncomfortable break with his overbearing father. But anyways, the Celtics won, and I'm watching the highlights, and I don't know anybody on the team anymore. We still got Marcus Smart. It seems like we got rid of everybody else. Crowder, Avery Bradley, Isaiah Thomas. I knew they were all gone, but, you know, Kelly Olynyk's gone. Everybody's fucking gone. There's like 2 people left from last year's team. That kid Green was looking great. Where the hell did he go? I missed all of these fucking trades, so... I don't know. I'm right back to only being able to name a couple of Celtics. So I'm excited that I'm going to get back into them. I'm going to get through my my little New York run here. Thank you, by the way, to everybody that's coming out to my show Sunday night in New York City. Thank you for getting the tickets. You're going to watch me try out some material, fuck around, do some shit that works, and do some shit that doesn't quite work. And but when I come back, I am that's it. I'm watching the NBA and NHL package, and I'm so fucking psyched. I'm going out. I'm buying my nieces and nephews a bunch of gifts. I'm going to come back east for Christmas. Everybody in my family who hasn't met my beautiful, gorgeous, lovely daughter. My wife sent me video yesterday of the first time she was on a swing, which thank God for video. I would have missed it. It was just awesome. She was so happy. And then the way she was sitting there, she had like her elbow, like she was hanging out the driver's side window. She was so totally chill. She has like a relaxed confidence about her. And she's a sweetheart, you know? So all I got to do is not be an angry maniac, you know? Who? I'm going to be an angry maniac, but I'm going to be less of one. And when she calls me out on it, when she inevitably learns how to talk, I'm just going to admit to it and be like, you know what, you're right. Daddy needs to work on that. Because I don't want to ruin what she looks like she's going to be, man, because this kid's going to be special. You know, like all dads, I am a little biased, but I'm telling you. Anyways, which is another reason to not be boozing around the friggin' house, right? I think that's what I'm going to do. I think in the next year, I'll keep my drinking on the road. That's what I'll do. I'll live this double life. Stone sober at home, pushing her on a swing, wearing sweaters, smiling and waving, and then on the road, I'll just be in the gutter after my shows. That's too sad. I would never do that. Anyways, and I heard that kid for the Bruins, that kid on BU, who stepped up last year, was looking very promising. I heard he's playing really well. I heard the Bruins are fast. I know we don't have the greatest record at this point, but you know, it's a long season. I cannot fucking wait to get back to my family and just, I don't know. I'm not going to do shit for like 2 weeks. Right through Thanksgiving, right to the end of this month. And then I'll, whatever. You'll start getting busy again, but who gives a fuck? I'm really going to try to enjoy the holidays this year. I'm getting into it. All right, I'm going to buy a fucking tree. I'm going to do the whole thing. Although where I usually buy my tree, everything got all fucked up down there now, so they can't sell the trees there. Who knows what? They're probably knocking down the building to put up another building. That's the big move out here, right? Build these, I don't know what you call them. These high-rises, luxury rentals. Do yourself a favor. Don't rent a luxury apartment when you can just instead go out and buy a starter house. Throw all that money down the fucking toilet, okay? Please don't do that, unless you want it. If you want to do it, by all means, go ahead and do it. So I always read Drum Magazine. I read Modern Drummer Magazine. And I saw this whole article on these drummers' favorite, like, prog rock bands from the 70s. And, early Genesis, when Peter Gabriel was still in it and Phil Collins was on drums. King Crimson, all of these bands. So I actually started listening to King Crimson, that band, that album Red. And it's pretty fucking out there. This shit is pretty fucking out there. Some of it doesn't hold up, some of it does, but when they get into the real trippy keyboard shit, using all the effects and everything, that definitely gets a little bit nuts, but I don't know. I was always curious of, like, Bill Bruford's drumming. Like, he was always on, the cover of all, like, those magazines. I know he played in Yes and all that stuff. He's this amazing drummer, so I was kind of psyched to finally be able to hear him play. But I don't know. I think I'm going to listen to some of that shit. If anybody has any good suggestions, I don't know. I can't help but feel like it's very hipstery, a lot of that. I don't get into progressive. I don't mind fusion. Fusion is cool. But progressive gets a little, reminds me of Kevin Murphy. Well, it's what Kevin Murphy listens to on F is for Family. So I'll just treat it as like research or whatever. All right, I'm babbling here. Once again, thanks to everybody who's going to come out to my show Sunday night. And thanks to everybody on Frontrunner that gave me a part here in this movie. I had such a great time on this shoot. Met a bunch of people, just awesome people. And I'm really excited to get back to my family and just enjoy the holidays and everything. This is a great time of fucking year, It would have been nice if I could have said that without cursing, but I'm not the brightest guy. All right? Go fuck yourselves. Go Celtics. Go Patriots. Go Bruins. I don't know if we have a soccer team. I don't know what it is, but that's it, man. I'm going home. I'm putting on my fucking pajamas, and I ain't doing shit for the rest of the fucking year. Except Christmas shopping, cooking a Thanksgiving dinner, flying back east, meeting a bunch of relatives, giving out gifts to fucking Christ. It's always busy, isn't it? Who gives a shit? All right, go fuck yourselves. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the music here. And also, we got another 30 minutes. If you're new to my podcast, we always play like the greatest hits from a Thursday afternoon podcast, from a few years ago. Maybe this year. I don't fucking know. All right, see you.
You can be the best of the best of the best.
Hey, what's going on? It is Bill Burr, and it is the Monday Morning Podcast for Monday, November 9th, 2009. And yes, I am a little late with this one. It is well into Monday evening here in Los Angeles, and I just had a whirlwind of a week. I really did. It should have been basically my Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. My last, whatever that is, 5 days, should have been filmed, okay, with like that MTV style where just as you start to focus on what the image is, they fucking quickly cut to what you were just looking at from the side in a black and white, you know? Remember how they used to film Punk'd? And Ashton Kutcher would be standing there like, okay, check it out. Fucking Zippy Seacrest is going to get a glazed donut, right? And then bam, then they go from the side, and he'd be fucking sitting there with his hat sideways. Remember that? I had like a fucking, I had like a totally TRL experience. I had an unbelievable fucking week, you know? Why do I feel like, I actually feel guilty about it, like telling you guys that I had an unbelievable week. Like I have to fucking apologize to you guys during a free podcast? Fuck you. You know? I got to tone it down. What, because your week sucked? Why can't you be happy for me? Why didn't I turn the fucking fan on? It's goddamn hot as fucking hell. You know what it is about my apartment? No, Bill, what is it? Hang on a second. Let me turn this fucking thing on. Come on, turn on. The problem is I live in a desert, and this time of year, the sun, there's like 3-4 hours where it just beats down right on the corner of my apartment, and it's just sitting there naked. There's no avocado tree or whatever, cactus or any shit to block out the sun, so it just heats up like an oven. And then I always try to close the windows. You know, I've explained this before because I say cunt a lot on the podcast, and I want my neighbors to think I'm a swell guy. No, I don't. I don't give a shit what they think. I just don't, if somebody steals something, I don't want them to think it was me. That's basically it. All right, so this was my week. Listen to this, all you fuckers in your cubicles. Huh? Is it Tuesday morning? Did you already throw your hands up and give up on me like I wasn't going to fucking do it this week? Or at least today? Shame on you. You could have been listening to this yesterday at the end of your job. You know? When you're supposed to be getting all your spreadsheets in order. Huh? Right around the time that egg salad sandwich is starting to bug you and you're thinking, can I shoot it right into the fucking Staples office chair that I'm sitting on? That sort of has some sort of foam underneath it. Isn't that the worst, huh? When you have a sit-down job and you have a chair you can't fart into. That's really bad. You know what? You got to wear like 2 pairs of boxers every time you have Mexican, right? Jesus, Bill, shit jokes, 3 minutes right into the podcast, huh? This is how it's going to be? Sorry, I was just adjusting myself here. Not that kind of way. Just adjusting everything because it's a long fucking story what I have to go through to turn the fan on and keep a podcast going. I have to stretch the technology out, all the wires. All right, this was my week. All right, Wednesday, I fly to JFK, New York City, and because I'm getting ready for my big town hall show. My first theater gig in New York City, right? So I'm on my way there, and I land right around 5:30, just in time for the fucking traffic. And lo and behold, the Yankees are playing Game 6 of the fucking World Series. All right? And if they win that night, they're going to wrap the shit up. I'm staying in a hotel in Times Square. I bring my girl along, right? It's a big fucking week for me. You know, and I'm sitting there riding and going, please let the Phillies win. Please let the fucking Phillies win, you know, and then win Game 7 so I can watch all those fucking sad sack Yankee fans with those satin Yankee jackets that they wear, you know, like they're in some biker gang on fucking Happy Days. They're like one of the only teams left that still has those satin fucking jackets. Anyways, but it was not to be, right? Then I started to watch Game 6, and Pedro's on the mound, and he starts off with like an 84-mile-an-hour fastball, and I just really had a bad feeling that I was going to watch the end of his career that night, and he was going to let up like 17 runs, and I couldn't watch it, so I shut it off. So I have to do Opie and Anthony in the morning, so I take my vitamins, I go to sleep or whatever. trying not to get sick on the road. And right as I'm starting to nod off, I hear the first screaming that I would hear for the next 3 hours. I just hear like way off, basically where I'm sitting, Times Square is about a half a block away. So all I hear right as I'm about ready to nod off and get a nice 8 hours sleep right before I go to do the morning radio, all of a sudden I just hear like, yeah, fucking Yankees. Fucking 27. Woo! Right? Couldn't really make it out. Wasn't that clear. And then I started hearing these horns blowing. And it was like the whole fucking stadium. I guess they won it. I figured it out at that point. That's like the whole fucking stadium decided, what do we do now? Let's go to Times Square and keep Bill up for the next fucking 3 hours. And that's what they did. And it was so loud and so ridiculous. I was actually sitting there with my head in between two pillows like I was having a fucking, like a head sandwich, right? It was so fucking loud and so ridiculous. I was actually laying there laughing. What are the fucking odds, right? One of the biggest Red Sox fans, one of the guys who hates the Yankees the most. Okay, I live 3,000 miles away. What are the fucking odds? This one random day, I'm gonna fly in and they're gonna win the World Series, and they're gonna decide to celebrate half a fucking block away. So that was my first night. And the next night, I did a gig for. Actually, I didn't hype this gig because I was trying to sell tickets for my town hall gig. And I actually, on Thursday, I opened for this up-and-coming comedian that I'm sure all you guys, you're going to know about soon. A guy by the name of Dane Cook. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. Just, up-and-coming guy, just trying to plug away. I opened up for him at Madison Square Garden. I did 10 minutes, and it wasn't like the theater at Madison Square Garden. It was where the Knicks play. And I'm trying to think the last time I worked with him on the road. I think maybe we did a college gig together about 15 years ago, way back when we were starting out in Boston. So it was, I got to tell you, it's been a long time since I did a gig that wasn't, like if I do Letterman, I get butterflies, but it's been a long time since I've done a stand-up gig where that wasn't going to be on TV, and I actually got butterflies. I was standing back there waiting to go on, and I was like legitimately not like nervous to the point that was going to fuck with my set, but I was like, I don't know what it was. My stomach was like, oh my God, this is fucking Madison Square Garden, right? And fortunately, I had the presence of mind to be like, you know what? When are you ever going to get to do this again, Bill? I'm going to go with never. I'm going to bet the long shot on this one. And guess that you're never going to get to do this again. So, or most likely, never say never. So why don't you go up there and fucking enjoy it? And right before Dane does his shows in the round, so it's like 20,000 fucking people. And I'm sitting there looking at the stage, and I'm trying to figure out who am I going to look at. So fortunately, before I went out there, I go, Dane, exactly how does this theater in the round work? And he goes, it's no big deal. He goes, it's like 4 theaters. There's one in front of you, one to the right, one to the left, and one behind you. Just break it up like that. Then all of a sudden, it just made sense. And I went out there. He actually had a great, I was freaking out. I knew I was going to be doing the gig for about 6 days, and I was just going, oh my God. Is this going to be a bunch of Facebook hotties, and I'm going to go up there saying cunt every other word? And they're just going to be looking at me like, when's Dane coming on? This guy's angry. But they weren't. They were fucking awesome. And they totally listened. And it was probably one of the best 10-minute sets I think I've ever had. As far as how many times you get to do a 10-minute set and you get to look up at a Stanley Cup champion banner? By the way, why is Madison Square Garden, I'm not trying to be a dick here, why is it considered a basketball mecca? They always say that. Like when Michael Jordan would go, it's a basketball mecca. LeBron James, it's a basketball. They always say that. It's a basketball mecca. All right? Now, fans of the New York Knicks, all right? And you're a true fan right now if you're still watching those bums. Okay? You're going through a real rough patch. I want you to justify. Send me an email and explain to me how Madison Square Garden is considered a basketball mecca? How? Okay, the Knicks haven't won a championship since 1972. I think they won their other one in like 69 or 70. They've won 2 championships. The fucking Spurs have won like, what, 4, 5? How is Madison Square Garden a basketball mecca? If that's a mecca, what was the old Boston Garden? We won 16 there. Or say like the LA Forum. The LA Forum, they won 5, 6, 7. I don't know what they won there. They won like 9. I think they won 9 out there. Okay, if Madison Square, now I'm not being a dick here. New York City is a basketball mecca. That Rutger Park or whatever the fuck it is, with a goat, right? He used to fucking lift up a refrigerator and put it on top of the backboard. Isn't that how the the urban myth goes, or whatever the fuck it was? Luell Cinder, right? All those guys came from there. I understand that. I understand all those players, but there's only been there's 2 championship banners hanging in Madison Square Garden, okay? So I'm going to kind of be a jerk here and say that it's not a basketball mecca. I don't think you've earned the right. What, college basketball maybe? You know? I don't know. I think you guys really need to win a lot more. The fucking Chicago Bulls won 6 in the 90s. The first 3 at Old Chicago Stadium, and then the other 3, what, at the United Center? Is that how it went? I don't fucking know. All I'm saying is you guys need to bring that down a little bit. You know? That's like, you ever see, like, when you see a restaurant, they'll say, welcome to world famous blah, blah, blahs. And you're sitting there, really? Really? They know about this in Portugal? They don't. You're just saying that. And I think that fucking, you know what? Madison Square Garden is just like Ray's famous pizza in New York City. Every fucking one claims to be. There's a couple of comedy clubs. The world famous fucking yuck slap a knee, whatever the fuck they call them. It's like it's not world famous. It's not. All right. It isn't. Okay. Did I beat that to death? I really got off the rails here. Let me get back to my fucking story here. All right. So the first night I go, Yankees win the World Series, and their fans keep me up for like 3 hours. All right, and I actually congratulated the Yankees on the radio the next day, which is probably very surprising to a lot of people. If you'd like to hear it, go to just Google Bill Burr, Opie and Anthony Show, Yankee Rant. For some reason, they called it a rant, but I was actually congratulating them, and I meant everything that I said. It might have sounded like I was being a little sarcastic, but I wasn't. Anyways, let me plow ahead. So the next night I opened for Dane at Madison Square Garden, right? I'm fucking, there's pictures of like Frank Sinatra and Elvis. I'm talking to the security guard who's been there for 40 years. He's pointing out where Mike Milbury went into the stands and beat that guy with his own fucking shoe, right? Have you guys ever seen that? Of course not. You're not hockey fans. Actually, look up Boston Bruins fight fans. Just look that up. It was a Bruins-Rangers game, and I think it was Terry O'Reilly. Somebody grabbed his stick, and they hit him with it, thinking, typical fan, like that's not a real guy. He's on skates. I have fucking Chuck Taylors on. He can't catch me. I don't know how he did it, but Terry O'Reilly climbed up the fucking glass and grabbed this guy, and then the rest of the Bruins followed him in the stands. And this is how far we've come as a society. Back then, that was probably a story for about 5 days. There were lawsuits or whatever, but you never heard about it. There was no fucking ESPN. It was it. Came and it went. There wasn't suspended for life. No Latrell Sprewell kind of shit. Nothing. They went up there, they beat fans with their own clothing, and then they went back on the ice and they finished the fucking game as far as I know. Anyway, so then Friday night, I did my first theater gig, and I want to thank everybody who came out. That was a huge milestone in my career to be able to perform in a theater in New York City and sell the thing out. Everything went awesome. I got a standing ovation and had 3 killer comics on in front of me, Joe DeRosa, Paul Verzi, and then there was this girl, this contest winner, and of course her name escapes me at this point because I talk on my cell phone too much and I can't remember any fucking thing anymore. Oh, and speaking of that shit, no, stay on track, Bill. Stay on track. because I was making a couple of corrections from last week. But so Saturday night comes. Saturday night, I was up in Boston. I did the Comics Come Home with Cam Neely and Dennis Leary and all that type of shit, and that was in front of 6,000 people. So basically, over 3 days, I went on in front of almost 25,000 people. And now I'm sitting in my bedroom talking to myself into an orange fucking microphone. So, I'm coming down a little bit, getting back to reality. How's that for a fucking weekend? I can't believe it. Unbelievable. I can't believe it. And then he says unbelievable, just in case you didn't realize that it was unbelievable. Right now, you know what's funny about me? I'm actually self-conscious right now that I talked about so much good shit that happened to me. That's what it's like to be a fucking German-Irish Catholic from Boston. That's what it is. Oh, my God, a bunch of good stuff happened. I should feel guilty. And I almost said fuck you to you guys like you give a shit either way. I really got issues. All right, let's make a couple of corrections. All right, last week, that racist movie I was trying to remember the name of, it's Birth of a Nation. And I want to thank the 87 people who brought that to my attention. And I also mentioned I was going to read a book about how to speak better on stage using my voice correctly, and people wanted to know the name of the book that I was reading. I actually lied to you. I'm not reading it. I keep starting the book, but it's really involved. It's just like, your diaphragm is a muscle in your lower body. And I'm just like, oh, my God, I hate school. And then I close it, and then I'll read, like, Slash's autobiography, or, like, what's the guy from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Anthony Kiedis. I'm sort of skipping around his biography. But the name of the book is called Freeing the Natural Voice by Kristen Linklater. All right, Linklater. I've just been doing a lot of shows, and I have a tendency to yell from my throat rather than down here by the fucking diaphragm. You like that? Hear that? That's fucking Ray's famous pizza. That's an awful burger from a diner. And that's some bar pizza that I got up in Boston. Trying so hard to get in shape. I just don't think it's going to happen. Fuck that. I've had the whole fucking goddamn summer to get in shape, and I didn't do it. I've been a fucking idiot. And like usual, I'm waiting till the last week. Like one of these chicks on the shows, right? Now I just don't eat. Then I show up in a strapless dress with my fucking, I was going to say clavicle showing. Is that a word? Collarbone. There you go. What is a clavicle? Is that thing on your back that looks like a sail? What is that? Your shoulder blade? Is that called a clavicle? I don't fucking remember. What, radius, ulna, tarsals, metatarsals, phalanges. Anyways, let's plow ahead here with the podcast. So I'm like hardcore. There's no turning back. I have to drop like 10 pounds before my special, or my big fucking kitchen TV sized head is going to look fucking ridiculous on TV. So I really got to get the booze weight off. And I actually just went for a bike ride. I was hiking up one of these parks out here, Griffith Park. You know, the observatory? Did you guys ever see that James Dean movie? Didn't he film something up there? Or Charlie's Angels? When those 4 skinny whores are up there with their Botox and their fucking twats hanging out. Remember that last scene? That's the observatory. So the other day I was hiking up to it on foot, and I see this fucking like 55-year-old guy, white hair, pedaling up the hill like he's in a fucking Viagra commercial. And I'm going, look at that son of a bitch. And he had he had the whole getup on, the whole Lance Armstrong outfit, like he's going to, ride through Paris and throw his hands up right under the Arc de Triomphe, right? Rather than he's just riding up a hill in the middle of a desert, sucking in bus fucking fumes. But I was impressed, and I was like, you know what? If that old bastard can do it, And I got to admit, 55 in L.A. is like 32, the way these people work out here, all right? And I'm sorry to the people in the middle of this country and down south, all right? Don't you love when people do that when they insult you and then they say they're sorry, but they're not, I get that a lot at the end of my shows. I didn't think you were funny, I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't. And I'm always like, okay, yeah, because, it's like, I know other people did, but, it's like, I'm sorry, I just didn't. Why do you keep apologizing? You're not sorry. You're not sorry. Okay, I got it. You don't like me, and I don't give a shit because you already paid for a ticket. You paid to watch me annoy you, and I find that humorous. Anyways, let's plow ahead. So I figured I gave myself 10 days to be able to fucking make it all the way up to this goddamn hill, and I just did it today, and I made it all the way up to the top. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like I'm gonna fucking die, but I actually made it up there. So now I don't know what to do. I thought that was gonna be my project. I would just do that every day, and every day I get a little bit farther. And while I would focus on the carrot in front of me, I would just drop this booze weight, right? But what happens? The first fucking day, I go all the way up the goddamn thing. So now what do I do? You know what I got to do? I got to join a gym, and I got to throw the weights around. That's what I got to do. You know what? In the mail today, I got a free 30 days at Gold's Gym. Anybody work at a gym? How is this free 30 days going to work out for me? Sign up for free 30. I can't even fucking talk. The hell's wrong with me? I know what's wrong with me. I've fucking flown like 200 hours on a plane the last goddamn 2 months. You should have seen this fucking douchebag putting his coat in the overhead compartment on my flight out here. I couldn't tell if this guy had the biggest yarmulke on I'd ever seen in my life, or he had just shrunk his jazz hat. You know those little jazz hats that those black guys wear and then that white guys wear when they get into jazz to try to act like they get it too? You know those ones? They're the African colors, you know? And you just sit there talking about Charlie Parker, you know? In your version of salt peanuts or whatever the fuck it is. And I don't know what it was. Any Jewish people listen to this shit? Huh? Let me ask you a question. Is it technically still a yarmulke when it almost goes to the front of the guy's hairline and all the way to his... I mean, this thing, it looked like a... What is that thing the Mexicans do? They use? The tortilla, right? How fucking ignorant am I of every goddamn culture out there? I thought a yarmulke is a beanie? Is that incorrect? I call him a beanie for a long time, and I always used to get looks. I was like, yeah, the guy had the fucking beanie thing. And then I get looks, and it's like, oh, it's because I cursed. I say fuck when I'm trying to gather my thoughts sometimes. The fucking beanie, rather than saying the oh gee, what is that thing called? The beanie. I put the fucking in front of it, and then it adds an extra edge to it, inadvertently. And people are like, oh my God, he doesn't like Jewish people with hats. Is it a beanie, or is a beanie that thing with the little propeller on top of it? And another question, did anybody ever have those? Is anybody old enough to actually answer that fucking question? Is that one of those Hollywood things? Cartoon things that they just acted like people used to have those back in the day? I know kids used to wear those little raccoon hats, you know? Back when there was game all over the place. You know, and mothers made pies and stuck them on windowsills. Stanley, if you're going to shoot it, you better cook it. We're going to have to eat it, right? Did white people ever say that, or do we just waste? Have we always just wasted shit? We've always had the MTV Cribs approach to fucking nature, haven't we? White people. Didn't Buffalo Bill used to just ride around shooting buffalo in the head, laughing his ass off through that Fu Manchu that connected to his sideburns? You know? How much more did you increase your odds of having your legs sawed off while you drank brandy if you had that little fucking, that Fu Manchu? What is that one called as far as the facial hair? I'm asking a lot of questions. Maybe I should have done some research. The only person I've seen with that is that guy Lemmy from Motorhead, and then afterwards the dude from Metallica had it. He had it for a minute there, James Hetfield. Why don't we get to the questions here? I seem to be asking a lot of questions here. Why don't I get to some of your questions, and I'll try to answer them. Question. Bill, I have two questions. I can't help but notice these fucking annoying commercials and ads about selling your gold. I wondered whether or not you thought this was a conspiracy to round up all the gold still owned by individuals so that when the dollar completely tanks, the people won't have anything of worth for themselves. No, I don't think it's a conspiracy. I just think that those guys late night are doing a much smaller version of the scam that bankers did originally. is what they're doing is they're taking gold and they're just giving people a piece of paper for it. But it's not as bad as when the banks did it. The banks did it. They said, give us your gold and we'll give you these little pieces of paper that are redeemable. Anytime you want, you can come back and get your gold. And needless to say, eventually you couldn't claim your gold anymore, and they just sort of kept it. No one knows where it is because you can't audit them. So, yeah, that's what those guys are doing. They're anticipating probably the tanking of the dollar. They get, I don't know if you guys, have you seen those commercials where they're just like, I used to do a bit about it. You know, if you got an old class ring, if you got a broken bracelet, if you got some busted jewelry, send in your gold and we will give you cash for it. That's what they're doing. And for those of you who think I'm a fucking moron, if you had a sandwich shop and somebody walked in and tried to buy a sandwich with some rubles, you'd tell them to go fuck themselves. But if somebody who came from a country that used to use rubles but had a handful of gold, you know, you still would be like, dude, what the fuck? I don't know what gold is trading at, but you'd know that the gold had value. Okay? That's the great thing about gold. All around the fucking world, you can get yourself a goddamn sandwich with a piece of gold. I challenge you to buy anything with the fucking ruble. Go ahead and do it. Or some defunct, the yen. Do they have that anymore in Japan? Bill, you're getting in over your head. Shut the fuck up. Just keep moving. So no, I don't think that that's a conspiracy. I just think that that's one of the oldest scams in the book. And J.P. Morgan and the guys at, was it Jekyll's Island or whatever, Federal Reserve, those guys perfected it. God bless them. Shame on us. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool us for a fucking 100 years, and yeah, we're fucking morons. Okay, next one. Also, I'll be coming to Cleveland to see you and wondered if the same guy that opened for you in Pittsburgh will be opening for you in Cleveland as well. Oh, that was Doug Signier. Doug Signier getting some props. Doug Signier's hilarious. I kind of rotate my openers. When I go to Cleveland, who's it going to be? Ryan Dalton and Jason Lawhead. Actually, two guys that I've known for about 5 years right now. They're based out of Cleveland, travel all around, absolutely fucking hilarious. And I lose half my liver every time I go out there and work with them. So I love those guys, and they're going to be opening. They're fucking hilarious. So if you're wondering if I'm going to have a funny opener, yes, I am. Next question. Bill, as a Bills and a Sabres fan, I think I have it the worst with 2 lost Stanley Cups and 4 lost Super Bowls and 11 years without a playoff appearance. Do you think I'm right? No, I don't. I do not. I think you definitely have it bad, but for the longest time, everybody talked about Boston, and then we won a bunch of shit, so that was over. And they have been talking about the Cubs, blah, 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 blah. But I think the worst city to be a fan in right now is Cleveland. Very quietly, those guys have gone my entire life, and nobody has won anything. The Cleveland Browns have never won a Super Bowl. The Cleveland Cavaliers have never won an NBA championship, and the Cleveland Indians haven't won a World Series since 1948. So unless you're in your 70s, for all extensive purposes, the Indians have never won a World Series. Do you understand that? Because you got to be like at least like 8 years old, 9 years old to remember a fucking World Series. Now some douchebag's going to email me. Actually, I was 6 years old when the Tigers won it in 68. Who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying. Don't be a cunt. All right? So I would say that they have it worse. But yeah, you guys are, you're right there. You're right there with them. That's one of those things that's like, do you really want to win that argument? Remember a long time ago, ESPN did who had the worst curse, the Boston Red Sox or the Chicago Cubs, and they did this stupid trial. And they had like George Wendt from Cheers, who's a Chicago guy. He's arguing to be like, no, we're more miserable. And it's just like, all right, you want to win that contest? That's all you. Who the fuck would want to win the misery contest? That's really beyond me. So congratulations, you didn't win it. I think people in Cleveland are worth. How do you think those guys feel? Half the fucking guys with World Series rings this year used to be on the fucking Indians, or half the guys in the World Series, right? CC Sabathia. Fuck, who was the other guy? God damn it, I had him right at the tip. I got to stop talking on my cell phone. Manny Ramirez. Okay, we'll see how the last couple of years. Manny Ramirez, the Red Sox bought him, right? CC Sabathia, the fucking Yankees bought that dude via the Brewers. Who else? Did Jim Thome play on the Phillies last year? I mean, the Indians should have won it. They should have won it, but the way baseball is it's not competitive anymore. That's why I'm kind of, I think I'm tapping out on baseball. I don't give a shit anymore. I don't know. In my world, competition, I actually wrote an email to a guy about this. In my world, competition is our best guys versus your best guys. Best team wins. That's, to me, is competition. I don't think competition is our best guys plus your best guys versus whatever the fuck you have left, stupid. You know? Do you remember when you were kids and you'd be choosing up sides? You know, and right off the bat, if two of the best guys were on the same side or in the end it seemed uneven, and when I was from it, it was called smuck teams. S-M-U-C-K. I've never heard that anywhere else. It was like suck with an M in it. Smuck. People are like, no, smuck teams. These teams are smuck. I don't know what the fuck that means. That should have been said like during the Little Rascals era, but some reason it was said during my childhood. These are smuck teams. So then you had to break them up. You had to break up the evil empire. The fucking Yankees or the Red Sox, Dodgers or whatever, any one of these teams. I mean, the Yankees are in a league of their own, but you know what I'm saying. Red Sox and all them are just as much part of the fucking problem. They would break up any of those. Kids know enough to break up those fucking teams. All right? Anyways, plowing ahead. Let's read, what the fuck was I going to read here? Questions, I already did that. This is called Broads Over There. Broads Over There. I don't even know what the hell this is. Let's read this one. Bill, I have been a fan of yours some time. I just want to tell you that I think you're great. Thank you. Why don't I fucking delete those? I think your comedy, the exception of your week. All right, anyways, the reason I am writing you is to tell you a funny story. My girl, dating 5+ years now, and I live in Tucson, Arizona, and she is always bitching at me saying, we never do anything anymore. Well, my job is very consuming of my time, and I realized that she was correct. So what do? So what I do is I try to come up with something we could do together that would be entertaining and unique. Something different that is not an average night out in Tucson. See, the guy's using his brain trying to surprise her. Anyways, I've been telling her about your comedy and showing her clips of you that I found on your MySpace page for the past few months. She really seemed to enjoy it and laughed hysterically. So I planned this great evening for the 20th of November, which goes something like this. Head up to Tempe, have a nice dinner, and head over to the Improv and watch your show, your 8 o'clock show. Well, I bought the tickets and thought I would surprise her with the whole thing. She loved the idea, and she was very excited, and I was pleased to see her excited about the event. Well, we were telling our friends about it, and she sort of says this, well, it's his evening, and I'm just sort of tagging along. I got to admit that I was a little upset at this point because I intended this whole thing to be a gift from me to her, which is funny because this is very similar to the story that you told on the October 19th podcast when you took your girl in the Corvette up to PCH. She just sort of shut me down. So my question to you is, why is it never enough? What a great question. Do you realize you just asked the question of probably every guy on this fucking podcast? Hold on, I'm just going to pause here while the women roll their eyes. Oh my God, that's bullshit. That's not true. It's just, you got to use your imagination. Women like surprises. They just fucking, shut up. Just shut up. Would you? Would you just shut up and take off all those fucking layers? It's not the 1800s, with your panties and your pantyhose and your slip and your fucking skirt. All right, what am I talking about? I don't know. Anyways, where did I lost my place? So my question to you is, why is it never enough? I can do everything she wants, but she will still find a way to make me look like an asshole, making it seem like I'm dragging her around and making her do all that stuff that I want to do. I guess that is why I relate to your comedy, because it seems that she is only happy when we do all the things that she wants to do. You know what I'm talking about? With brunch, street fairs, and the candle store. Nevertheless, we are going and really looking forward to seeing you in person. Hope to see you after the show selling some CDs and DVDs. All right. Why is it never enough? I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know if it's an insecurity that they're always questioning whether you truly love them or not. I have no idea. I don't know why. I mean, I would think that. All right, look at me, okay? I rented a Corvette for the day, Corvette convertible, and I drove my girl all around L.A. We went up the fucking Pacific Coast Highway, looked at the ocean, we had lunch. I took her out to this beautiful bar late at night. I drove her through the Hollywood Hills with the top down, looking at the stars, looking at the lights out over the city. I thought it was a very romantic thing. And then I got on the podcast, and she was just like, yeah, that was really your thing. I just did that for you, you know? I just sort of sat there in a $70,000 automobile, you know? Seeing views that people fly 6 hours to see, and just got a free lunch out of it and free fucking drinks. And you ever watch The Price is Right? Did I just spit on my own microphone? You ever watch The Price is Right? You ever watch The Price is Right? Sure, we all have. Okay, getting a Corvette, I mean, like, and then going to that restaurant and driving up to PCH and looking at the lights and going out to the fucking bar in the hotel where John Belushi OD'd. Isn't that sounds like one of those showcases that you bid on? Are you gonna bid or are you gonna pass? You know? Oh, dude, you know what? Speaking of that, I was watching The Price is Right the other day, and I had like a white guilt moment. Okay, this black dude goes up to go spin the big fucking wheel. All right. And you know the deal. For those of you who don't live in this country, you spin the wheel. Whoever comes closest to a dollar without going over gets to then go on and bid on the big prizes. All right? That's for people in England and Australia and all that shit who email me if you don't know the show. So basically, they have every denomination from 5 cents, 10 cents, 15, 30, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, all the way up to $1. So this like 55-year-old black dude spins the wheel and it stops on 30 cents. Okay? Now, you can decide to stay or spin again. Now, I'm not a fucking mathematician, but I think you want to hit on 30 cents, right? He's looking out at the crowd, and I'm like, is this guy fucking kidding me? And I'm kind of laughing, going, all right, he's a little bit old. He's a little bit older, right? His family's going to straighten it out for him. And he looks out in the crowd. I don't know if they told him. I don't know what the fuck they told him. But he goes, I'm going to stay. He stayed on 30 cents. And I'm looking at Drew Carey going like, all right, I know what Bob Barker would do. Bob Barker would be like, okay, wait a minute. You sure you want to stay on this? 30 cents is really low. He would have helped him through it. But Drew Carey just went like, he's going to stay on 30 cents. All right, let's bring up the next person. So the dude is standing there with the 30 cents up above him, and I wanted to laugh my ass off and be like, what a stupid fuck. But then I felt guilty because it was a black dude, and I'd be white laughing at this black guy like he's a moron. And that's the worst thing about racists, is they ruined your ability to be able to laugh at a moron because he's another color. Then all of a sudden it becomes this ugly thing. You know? I don't give a fuck what color you are. If you're playing a game where you're trying to come close to $1 and you stop at 30 cents, you're a fucking moron, and I should be able to laugh. And I was laughing, and then I felt bad. And then I actually thought, oh, shit, someone's going to take that clip, and they're going to put it up on YouTube, and then someone's going to write a bunch of racist shit underneath it. Rather than sticking with the subject that this individual, who happens to be a black dude, is a fucking moron. You know? Or at the very least, didn't understand how the game worked. Look at that. Still had to give him the benefit of the doubt. A fucking game show that's been on 40 fucking years. Jesus Christ, how did I get on that subject? All right, let's get back here. So my question is, why is it never enough? You know what? My girl's got the flu right now. How funny would it be if I actually called her in here right now with the flu to ask her this question? I'm really jeopardizing my relationship. Should I do it, everybody? I think I'm going to do it. Hang on one second. Let me see if I can get her in here. Hold on. Hey, Nia. Nia. Can you come in here and add to the podcast? I just have a question. I have a question I want to ask you. All right, she's coming in. Don't say anything, all right? Watch me finesse my way through this. Yeah, just come on in for a second. All right. Making her way in, ladies and gentlemen. Making her triumphant return to the podcast. Look at you. You're officially sick.
Yeah.
Officially sick. Pajamas, socks. Is that orange juice?
It's orange juice.
Or you got any booze in there?
No, I just like it on the rocks.
Okay.
The phone is ringing.
Yes, it is. Everything. Don't worry. Cleo will get it. All right. Here's a question for you. Here's a question one of my listeners had. All right?
Yep.
I'm not trying to be hostile here. This is a female question. I know we had a big battle about that dude who punched that chick in the face, right?
Yes, we did.
Rihanna
Rihanna and Chris Brown.
and Chris Brown. We had a big argument on the plane about that. It's really bad. All right. Should we talk about that argument or should we get into this?
Why don't we get into this and then
And then we'll do the argument. Then we'll wrap it up.
we'll segue. Exactly.
Then we'll segue. There you go. All right. I'll read this to you, and then you have to come closer to the mic here. Don't look over my shoulder. She reads way faster than me. It makes me self-conscious. All right. Basically, there's this guy. He's got a girl. I'm going to paraphrase so my listeners don't have to listen to this shit again. They've been dating for 5 years. She always complains that they never do anything because the job is very time-consuming. He admits this.
His job is time.
His job is very time-consuming.
Okay.
Okay. All right. We're on the same page?
Yes.
We're ready to go. Okay. Listen, she starts coughing when she laughs.
Don't make me laugh.
I've been doing this to her every day, all day long. I make her laugh so she starts coughing.
You're terrible.
She's
All right,
like,
go on.
Listen, you sound like
Stop it.
you sound like you worked in a mine. Listen to that. That's horrible.
Cut it
God,
out.
how did I ever find you attractive?
Oh my God.
I'm joking. You know I'm joking. I told you you're adorable. All right? So anyways,
He
anyway,
never takes her anywhere because
easy. She says, oh my God. This is horrible. You sound horrible.
All right, I'm listening.
All right, stop doing that. Be a performer here, okay?
All right.
All right, Jerry Lewis would have just, suck down. Anyways,
What?
lady. See, what a great sense of humor she's got, even with the 105-degree. So, no, it's not that he doesn't take her. She just said he doesn't take her anywhere.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Do you understand that?
Yes, I understand.
Okay?
He has a time-consuming job. She complains that they don't go a lot of places.
She's claiming that they don't go anywhere. And he admits that he works a lot,
Yes,
and he might not have enough time here, okay?
Okay.
Just don't side with the broad because she has a twat here. All right?
Really?
Yeah, I know. I had to go there. Makes the guys laugh. All right. So, anyways, so then he decides he's going to take her somewhere. So he sees that I'm going to be coming in town, right? He starts showing clips of me on my MySpace page. Of course, she starts laughing because I'm fucking hilarious, right? We know this.
And handsome.
Thank you. All right. So he goes, all right, this is perfect. So he gets tickets to my 8 o'clock show. He's going to take her out to dinner. He's going to take her out to the comedy show. She says, that's not a good idea. He says, yeah. So he's psyched. He feels like he's fixed the problem. Right. So the next night, they're talking about it to their friends. And he says where he's going to go and what they're going to do. What should we have done? What shouldn't we have do? Remember that? No? Reservoir Dogs?
Oh, yeah.
So you like telling jokes, huh? Giggling like a bunch of girls in a schoolyard. Sorry. I know I do bad impressions. Terrible, I know. So, anyway, so then he finally ends up saying it to, she brings it up in front of her friends, and she said, well, it's his evening, and I'm just sort of tagging along. All right? And he goes, I got to admit that I was a little upset at that point because I intended this whole evening thing to be a gift from me to her.
Okay, right.
So he goes, it reminded me of when you took your girl out on the Corvette, and you said the same thing, right?
Yep.
So he says, my question to you is, why is it never enough?
I don't think that it's... Okay.
I love it. You're tongue-tied. Look at, see
No,
what you're doing right now.
because I'm
No,
trying
say
to-
what you're say exactly what you're thinking. Don't do this. Is you try to figure a way to spin this shit. Don't spin it.
I'm not spinning it because it's not like it's not enough. But I think where she's coming from, it's not like the whole...
You're
No,
done.
no, no,
You're
no.
done.
I have
It's
to take-
over.
no, I have
It's
to take
like
a
I
minute
said.
because I'm
It comes from this point of insecurity that you guys never feel loved enough.
Can you listen
It's hard, but yeah, okay.
He is a fan of yours first. She became a fan of yours, but he is like a longtime fan. So even though she would enjoy seeing your show, of course, he has more of a connection to you and your comedy than she does. He has more invested because he likes you, and she just heard of you, I guess, when he introduced her to your clips on YouTube and stuff. So in a way, it's like, oh, well, I like it, and I'll show it to her, and oh, she thinks it's funny, so we'll make a night out of it. But it's not as if, I don't know what else she likes. I mean, I'm sure she likes going shopping and whatever.
So basically the fact that...
So he didn't say, hey, you know what? I have the afternoon free. You want to, like, go to the farmer's market or go, like, window shopping or whatever? That would have been an evening or an afternoon all about her. That's like the difference. And so...
Okay, can I interrupt right now?
Yes.
It's a relationship. There's two people. It's not her birthday. I understand if it's her birthday, it's all about her. She goes, you never take me anywhere. So basically the problem here is the place that he's taking her to, he can actually have a good time at. He should actually take her to something that he doesn't want to do.
No, I think the issue is that she would have maybe preferred it if it was 100% all about her. Like if it was
So you guys are selfish.
specifically that she wanted to do. I don't know if she's selfish or not. Well, it sounds like she's being a little bratty about it. Now, though,
I'll take that. That was very, you know what? I appreciate that. You know what? The fact that you actually admitted at least to that, now I can listen to your opinion a lot more open-mindedly.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
being a little. I mean, she's being a little bratty to throw that in there, especially to her friends. But
What do you think I would do? What do you think I would do if you did that? If you made that comment in front of your friends, okay? And then I've already stopped talking to us. We're coming home. All we hear is this silent whir of our Prius. See how it starts off cute.
I'm trying to contain it somehow. I don't think I was being bratty though when I made the remark. I wasn't.
No, I understand it now. What it was I loved the Corvette long before I loved you. So it really was something more about me then?
Well, I don't. As awesome
Was I smiling too much that day? Is that what bugged you?
No, listen. As awesome as it was to ride in a Corvette down the PCH to Malibu, that was fucking amazing. It was not one of the things that I had on my mind as something fun to do. When you mentioned it, I was like, yeah, that sounds awesome. When we did it, it was even better. But it wasn't.
And no, well, wait a minute. As far as your days that you've had out here in LA, where does that one rank?
It's like number 2 to my birthday.
See?
Yeah.
A random day in October. So that was a fucking big time score, and you still had to be like, well, that was really kind of your thing. Why would you do that?
You just said that I wasn't being bratty when I said it, and now you're
No.
accusing me of being
Wait. I have memory problems. Wait, when did I say I wasn't? I was saying you weren't being bratty with what?
Before I said I don't think that I was being bratty when I said the thing about that, and you were like, no. I see where you're coming from. You just said it. And
Well, that's not what I meant.
Oh, great! How convenient.
Look, Nia, I can't remember anything from. I don't have any short-term memory anymore, so I don't know who that guy was who. I don't even know if I was agreeing with you.
You know what?
I'm never taking the stand if I ever kill anybody.
No.
Because I'm not going to be able to testify.
Honesty, it was a nice thing that you did, and it was unnecessary for me to say that. It wasn't necessary.
All right, you guys have to hang on a second while I kiss my sick girlfriend.
Mwah.
There you go.
It
See that?
It wasn't necessary.
See that, guys? I didn't have to slap her around. I didn't have to call her any of them names over there, like Chris Brown. Oh, I don't.
And it was unnecessary for her to say that because he was trying to do a nice thing. Yes, he is more of a fan of you than she is, making it more of a more interesting fun night for him than for her, even though she would have enjoyed it. But it was unnecessary.
All right, let me ask you this. Now, would most women just automatically see that with the idea? So then would she get self-conscious and feel like she had to call it out before they said it? Would she maybe say that because she's kind of embarrassed? That like...
Maybe.
Yeah, like, because if he said it, what are you doing? Oh, he's taking me to see this guy, Bill Burr. He says cunt every other word. That's what he's doing on this romantic night. God damn it, I think she might be right.
You know what? I bet what have happened was, oh, what is your boyfriend doing? Oh, what are you guys doing? Oh, we're going to dinner and then we're going to a comedy show. And I don't think that's necessarily the first thing on a woman's mind when it comes to a romantic evening.
Okay, last question. Tell me you didn't feel like you were dating Paul Newman when we were driving up the fucking PCH with the top down.
It was pretty impressive.
You didn't feel like Nia Woodward?
I did.
You did. Exactly. It's a fucking great idea.
The valet ran up to us when we pulled into the parking lot.
Oh, and put it in a special spot.
Oh my god!
Backed it underneath that overhang so the shade would be all nice and cool.
It was pretty hot.
You know, they don't do that when you pull up in the Prius, do they?
No, they do not.
Yeah, they stick that bitch right out in the sun. All right, so let's get on to our argument. So,
right.
we're flying back from New York City. How amazing was I at Town Hall?
You were amazing. Standing ovation.
That's right. You're fucking right I am. How insecure am I that I had to make you say that for the 6th time?
You're insecure, but I love you.
Exactly. All right, so let's plow ahead here. So we're flying back from where we were, Boston at that point.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we'd already watched the YouTube clip or whatever. Rihanna had gone on TV talking to Diane Sawyer, breaking it down, talking about getting the shit kicked out of her by that dude with the beaver teeth, right?
He really looks like a bucktooth beaver.
He does. He has no business being a pop star. He bit her too, right?
He did.
Why wouldn't you? You got to utilize your weapons. So we're sitting there, and it's this really sad interview, and she's just like, I just felt silly and stupid
No, you need to do
for
your
being.
imitation of.
So this is what I did. So it started off as a joke, and I said, all right, this is my impression.
So wrong.
All right.
I'd like to go on record as saying that I feel that this is so wrong, but I always laugh at the things you do that are so wrong.
All right. Well, this is the deal. I was talking about how she was just saying that, I found an inappropriate text message and then things escalated. And then next thing you know, he caved in my cheek and started biting me and blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, you know what? She left out a lot of the details. And because what I've learned with arguing with women is when women argue, when they're not winning or they're not getting you to admit that you're wrong, that at some point they make this switch in there where they're just like, I'm just going to make this person as mad as I possibly can by using every ounce of information that I know about them. So, truth? You know what? That's as good as a yes. Anyway, so this is one of those in-the-moment jokes. I can't even remember what they said. I said, this is my impression of of the conversation before. I can't remember how I did it, though. I was like, wish she's from Barbados, but for some reason, I started doing this really bad Jamaican accent. And I go, yeah, man. Yeah, man. Who be sending you the text, man? Yo, fuck you, bitch. I ain't gonna say nothing. Yo, man, who gave you the text message, you fucking bucktooth I can't remember what it is. Somehow talked about his teeth.
God.
And you were laughing your fucking ass off.
Yeah, it was funny.
I can never recreate that. That's why I had to tap out. And you were laughing your fucking ass off, and it was totally wrong. But then, like halfway through it, I started making my point of how I'm so sick of every time a woman gets the shit kicked out of her. Not every time, but all these women, they always get to show guys in that bad light of all these guys who beat the shit out of their women. But they never show when women fuck over guys, ever, in those situations, ever. Like, the situations that I've seen where, a friend of mine, she slammed the door into him and then just called the cops and said that he hit her, and they, without question, arrest him. And then that fucked up his job, and now everybody looks at him like he's a wife beater and he never even did it. How come Oprah never does shows about that? That was our big argument, and then she somehow, me, the way I say shit, somehow it seemed like I was advocating that the guy did nothing wrong.
Or that, just, all women are these horrible, manipulative creatures.
Yes.
And
You're not horrible, manipulative creatures, but you guys, you definitely manipulate. Can I burn a joke here? That fucking milkshake joke? I'll burn it. I don't have that many listeners. I'll still probably do it on my special. I don't give a fuck. So here's a little tease. Kind of like when you see a movie trailer. This is kind of a bit I'm doing on my my special. This is what my girlfriend did one night when I was driving home. This is how much they manipulate, or as I call it, lie. to get what they want. I was driving home, and I was looking at there was this diner. And I was driving home, and it was late at night. I was like, hey, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to get one of those milkshakes. And you were just like, oh, my God.
I hate when you do that generic female voice.
Fuck you. It's hilarious. Let's not forget, at the end of the day, my job is to make those people laugh. Okay, Nia? You don't understand. These people work hard all week. These were Americans. They need to come out and forget about their problems. No, whatever. I don't have, what am I, Mel Blanc? I got one fucking voice. I do.
Blanc,
Nice reference.
Yeah,
I watch
nice
cartoons. Really? Is that all it takes to impress you on a first date? That's how you ended up with me. He knows who does the voice of Bugs Bunny. This guy's a keeper. I think this guy will be able to provide.
Have you ever told that story?
What?
The first night that we ever hung out.
When I hooked up? We'll save that for another one.
Okay.
But you gotta tell me, huh? You had to be impressed with my skills.
Yeah. Well, yes.
You see that? They just won't give it up. This guy was fucking cock blocking me on an Olympic level. He saw I was going to hook up. He actually tried to split a cab with you
Yeah, I know.
on the way home, and I got around that.
Yeah.
Got around that. What happened? I fucking put the cards. I went all in, just like World Series of Poker. I went all fucking in. She was trying to be all coy with the little Sammy Davis Jr. hat on, trying to play all hard to get. Huh? Thinking you were dealing with the sophomore in fucking college, like I didn't have any fucking lines.
All right.
Yeah. When that douchebag kept coming over, cock blocking me, he invited, we were all set. I was hanging out. I'm going to tell you right now. We were hanging out, right? Me and this other dude. And all of a sudden, Nia shows up, right? And I can see the vibe. I see the look on her face. I know she wants it. No. I don't know. I just,
And we had met before. So.
Shut up. You look great. You came up, you had a nice big smile, and you're being flirtatious, and I immediately liked you, right? So you went to the bathroom. You're with a friend. I'm with a friend. Every guy knows what you're supposed to do. Take that fucking battle axe out of the picture. Okay? Take one for the team. I can't remember who the fuck you're with, so if it's one of your friends, I apologize.
Yeah, not a battle axe.
Whatever. All right. A war memorial. So what is this fucking... He goes the opposite route. I said, you went to the bathroom. I said, listen, I'm really doing well with this girl, all right? So, dude, I had to, he was like a chick.
Be your wingman is what you
No, I had to be like, so if I'm not paying attention to you, don't get upset. This is how, female this dude was, right? So this is what he ends up doing, okay? The fucking guy ends up, as we're going to leave, I'm thinking, okay, he's going to try to peel off with your girl who's not a battle axe, and he invites another dude over and goes, hey, you guys all want to get something to eat? Remember? Remember? And he invited us over. Now we're sitting there. It's me, you, your not-so-battle axe friends, and 3 other fucking cocks are sitting there, and I'm trying to hit on you.
Yeah.
And he keeps jumping in. Then he goes, hey, Nia, where do you live? Oh, I live up that way. You want to split a cab?
Right.
Remember that?
I do. And I had to be like, no.
No, you didn't. It was over at that point. I made the move. Remember that? I said, are you at least... But before he fucking said that shit, he was doing everything. I remember I didn't have any cash, and I pulled out my credit card. I said, you guys just give me the cash or just put it on my credit card. And he goes, oh, he's just trying to get the miles. Remember that? Anything he'd do to make me look like a shithead.
You paid for the whole thing. I thought you were like, bam, I'm paying for the whole meal.
No.
Everyone gave
No, they gave me money because I didn't have any cash.
You paid for mine.
This is how I got you.
That's what
Which
it
you was sitting there, and I said, look, are we at least going to be able to split a cab? Because I wanted to go over and have a drink with you.
Right.
And I was like, at least be able to split a cab. And then you're like, why? Why do you want to split a cab? Just putting up the roadblock? And that's when I went all in. I said, because I want to kiss you. Bam. Right.
Yeah.
And then that was it. I didn't fucking talk to you after that. Yeah, and you sat there with that little stunned look on your face. Then what happened? Then we walked
You were
outside.
really,
then
like,
then
proud of yourself
then we
right
walked
now.
out. That was the shit. That was one of the greatest. I used to, the fucking guys like that used to always get me. I fucking nailed that. Stuck the landing. Like a male Mary Lou Retton. And you know what the best part was? Then I stood up. And at that point I was like, fuck it. I said what I wanted to do. All this shit is in. I don't need to talk to her anymore. And I sort of peeled off, right? And then everybody got up to leave. And then you kind of tugged me on the shoulder and said, don't worry. You said, don't worry, we're going to split a cab uptown. And then I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. Because now I'm in, and now I'm going to get to watch that little fucking cockblock get his balls knocked on the fucking sidewalk. And that's what happened. He came out, right? Clapped his hands. Remember that? Came out just like this. He was just like, so, you guys ready to go?
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, actually, we're taking a cab. And he was so in cock block mode, he still didn't know. He's like, no, I live right near you. Yeah. And you were like, listen, we're taking a cab, and we're going uptown. And you leaned over and you said it, and then that's when he realized that everyone realized he was a cock blocking douche. And then what did he do? He goes, oh, yeah, I mean, yeah. He just fucking peeled off.
Yeah.
Huh? Then what happened?
We can't talk about that.
My other fucking classic line? Boy, I fucking reeled you in, was a masterpiece. Fucking masterpiece. Then we got in the cab, and you said, I thought you were going to kiss me. And we fucking driving like a maniac, and I go, I can't. The cab's jumping around too much. I go, I'll kiss you at the first red light.
You're just really trying to,
right?
Drag it out. You were trying to make this whole,
I was fucking seducing you, and it worked. Right? Then we hit the fucking red light.
Yeah.
I put one on you.
You did.
Bam. Right? Mm-hmm. Couldn't feel your fucking feet. I'm going to make this story last 9 hours long. And then you know what happened?
Really? Jesus.
Then I sat back and I was playing Mr. Fucking Cool again like I'm fucking Walt Frazier in 1972. Oh, the callback to the Knicks from an hour ago, right? Uh-huh. Then what happened? We stopped again, and I'm sitting there looking out the window, and you go, it's another red light, right?
Oh
And then we heard that cheesy saxophone from every fucking sexy movie in the 80s. Right? And then you were going, I'm not going home with you. I'm not going home with you. Now, whenever they say that, guys, you know they're not going home with you. You know that shit. So what you have to do is you have to constantly make them feel like it's safe and they're in control. So before you said you weren't going home with me, I felt your vibe. I knew the deal. So I just said, listen, I know we're not going home together, but I'm really having a good time with you. I'd like to have another drink with you. All right? I know a nice bar. Ba, 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 and bam. Right?
And I did not go home with
You didn't go home with me. We had like fucking 8 more drinks and made out for like the next 5 hours in that fucking Hell's Kitchen bar. Had a great time.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. So there's a little story, people. There's your little backstory. Hour and 1 fucking minutes. There you go. Oh, you know, God damn it, I didn't get to this. You want to hear something that's gonna make your fucking privates crawl? Sorry, it was disgusting. I'm out of funny shit. I'm in overtime right now. Listen to this guy. You know, I was talking about that cunt down there at the diner that one day. Remember that guy? Go back to Jersey, you fucking faggot, whatever the hell he said. So people were talking about like all the all the assholes and the confrontations, and some people had the confrontations. Yeah. Some people won the fights. Some people lost the fights. Some people won and got sued. Yeah. Other people walked away and had the fucking anger like I did. So he goes, podcast, The Bully's Point of View. This is from The Bully. Listen to this. This is really interesting. Bill, I just listened to your last 2 podcasts and listened to the stories of these guys that want to beat people when they're bullied. Well, I think I'm the bully. I've got 100 stories, but I'll give you 2 short ones. All right. Fat people bother me. This guy's awesome. Fat people bother me. Smelly people do too. Combine the 2 and give me lots of alcohol, and I go off. So I'm down the hatch in Manhattan, and fat smelly guys come in. I can't help but tell them that they are an embarrassment to the white American race. This is where he becomes like this Aryan psychopath. I guess this isn't funny anymore. And he goes, and I'm tired of picking up their slack. Now, if he's just saying that to be funny, that's fucking hilarious for one white person to say that to another white person. You're an embarrassment to the white race, and I'm tired of picking up the slap. Take a fucking walk at least. He goes, they don't say a word, so I slap one right across the face.
What?
He goes, why? I'm not sure. What's that movie you love there with Christian Bale? American Psych? Yeah, I think this is the guy. I'd love to see his business card. He goes, there's 6 of them. I have 4 or 5 guys with me, but they wouldn't have known that, and they just walked away. Out the door, probably to grab some fried food. But the point is, they didn't do anything. Did I feel bad about it? Not really. It's a pretty funny story to tell when I'm drunk.
I have a feeling that most of his stories are funnier when he's drunk.
Oh, these stories are hilarious. I don't even know if they're true, but these are fucking making me laugh. I'll read another one. Story 2. So I'm at a bar with a couple of guys, and there's a midget in it. For some reason, I don't notice the little man, but my friends do, and the midget jokes commence, and one of the little men's friends says something to my friend. I told him to shut the fuck up and poured my Corona on him. He didn't know what to do. About 10 minutes later, I ordered a shot and saw him near the bar and tossed that at him too. He did nothing. Why? Because 98% of the time, people don't know how to react and clam up. It's not just your listeners or you. It's mostly everyone. So don't feel bad about freezing up and missing your opportunity. And you're right that we don't always get what we deserve. I've been kicked out of more bars than I can remember. I've had sex with more women than I can remember and showed all of my friends pictures of them. Where did it get me? To a 6-figure salary.
That's fake.
Wait a minute. You just want it to be fake. You want it to be fake.
I do want it to be fake.
Nia, have you ever seen an asshole who takes what he wants, not bang the hottest fucking women out there? Ever. Thank you. All right, let's continue. One more thing. This will make you feel great. All these guys in your podcast keep talking about picking up girls or being scared to talk to them or being rejected. Listen, kids. I love this. He's talking down to him. Most of you are in college or your senior years of high school. Fucking go out there and crush some pussy. Have trouble talking to girls? Here's what you do. Go to your classes, come back to your dorm room, and take a nap or play Madden or do whatever till around 1 a.m. Go get a fake ID or chalk your ID and move out to the bar about 1 hour before they close. Scope out the action and search for blood. Be a shark. Look for the over-inebriated, the overweight, the low self-esteem. Make it happen. He's screaming now. Make it happen. He's giving a little halftime speech here. Be blunt. Ask a girl if you can grab a little titty. Stick a hand down a chick's pants when you're on a dance floor. Be aggressive.
What?
All that shit works, Nia. I'm not going to lie to you.
Oh, putting your hand down some girl's pants on the dance floor works?
Well, you just don't fucking do it. You start doing other areas that are gateways to that area.
I would fucking kick this asshole in the balls.
Lies, yeah. What if he turned you on? What if he worked out? What if he was a dick and he was shredded? And he just knew it was going to be some great fucking stress-relieving cock, Nia.
No one puts their hands on me like that. Fuck yourself.
You know what you're being right now? Right now you're being talk show audience, Nia. Let me tell you something. Anybody puts their hand on my ass, they're getting their ass kicked. You're full of shit, Nia. If you... Oh, all right, whatever. You're sick. I'll let you go. And never play up the nice guy thing. You go in there, look like you've done this 100 times, scared of performing, don't worry. They won't remember it anyways, and chances are they've had worse. All right, so this guy's cocky. You know what I love about him? He's cocky for good reasons and also cocky for no reasons. I mean...
What are his good reasons for being cocky again? What are his accomplishments? What does he look like?
I know. Well, he slaps fat people. He makes fun of friends of midgets, and he fucks girls who are too drunk to say no.
Oh, yes.
And now he makes 6 figures.
There you go.
Come on, he was trying to be funny, but he just like now you got the attitude. You don't care if she comes, stays, lays, or prays. You ever see that? Remember that guy, Damone?
No.
You know what's funny?
Come, stays, lays, or
You know what's funny about you? You already have that look on your face when you meet a guy
What?
who doesn't give a fuck. The same way I didn't. You got that look on your face.
What look?
That fucking look. That let me know that someday you were going to be in my bedroom, which you are. I just didn't count on me falling for you. That's where I fucked up. That's where you turned the tables on me. Huh? Cutie pie? All right, that's it. That's it for the podcast, you fucking twats. You guys...
What is wrong with you?
I got to end on a laugh, and sometimes when you don't have a joke, you go dirty. I'm teaching these people how to be a comedian. If they could see me, I just would have made a funny face. That's all my act is. I just curse words and silly faces. All right, that's the podcast for this week. I apologize to you motherfuckers for taking so goddamn long, but I hope you enjoy it. And my next gig is Tempe, the Improv in Tempe, Arizona. I appreciate it. Anybody who can come out, please come out to the show because it's getting close to my special, and tickets will be going on sale for my special. I will have information next Monday. Repeat. Actually, check in on my website, billburr.com. I might have a special announcement this week, and if you want to be in on tickets as soon as you can, sign up for my mailing list at billburr.com. Just sign up under the city, that the closest major city, and I'll send out an email right before I do the announcement. That'll be your little plus for getting on my mailing list. Look at that, Nia, a little business skill there.
Look at you.
You like that? Look at me. All right, let's go have some pork chop. What the fuck are we eating for dinner?
I don't feel like cooking anymore.
Wow. You don't feel like cooking anymore? I took you to Sweden in August. You drove in a Corvette in fucking October, and you're not going to cook. So what the fuck am I supposed to eat? You're not sick. You've been laughing your ass off. You're coming out of it. You're too silly to be sick.
I'll make pasta, okay?
Huh?
Pasta.
Pasta. That's what I ate when I was single and I was fucking struggling. Really? Can I eat it on of the fucking back of a chair the way I used to? I used to put the plate right where you sit. I already told this fucking story. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful week. I'll talk to you next Monday.